They hope you never figure this out. In fact, some would rather you stay in the dark forever. Because once you truly understand the way female psychology works, you become untouchable. You can't be played, manipulated, or led around by emotion. You stop being the nice guy, and you start becoming the man she can't forget. This isn't the watered-down advice you've heard 100 times. This is the truth, the uncomfortable, unspoken reality about what women are really drawn to. And once it clicks, you'll start seeing the signs you never noticed before. And trust me, once you see them, you can't unsee them. 1. She wants your attention, but she desires your absence even more. Most men are trained to believe women want constant attention, and why wouldn't they believe that? We're told to be available, to make her feel special, to cater to her every need. But here's the uncomfortable reality. She won't say this out loud, but while she likes your attention, she craves your absence. Sounds backwards, doesn't it? But it's grounded in pure emotional psychology. When you're always there, always texting, always replying, always at her fingertips, you become predictable, comfortable, safe, and deep down, that doesn't excite her. Why? Because desire doesn't grow in closeness. It grows in space. When she has just enough distance to wonder what you're up to. When you're not instantly available. When she feels that subtle ache of missing youth, that's when she becomes addicted. It's not about ignoring her. It's about not handing her unlimited access to your world. It's about being the man with a mission, with a life she has to step into, not one that revolves around her presence. This is why the overly nice guy gets friend-zoned. He thinks constant attention equals love. But love without mystery becomes monotony. Even the most independent woman still wants to feel a bit of chase, a bit of uncertainty. Not in your loyalty, but in your energy. She wants to know that she doesn't completely own your focus. That's why she becomes obsessed with the man who can disappear into his passion, who works, trains, and builds without needing her approval every 5 minutes. And the truth, that man haunts her thoughts. 2. Her tests aren't to annoy you, they're to reveal you. Ask most men why they hate dating games, and they'll say the same thing. She's testing me. Why is she distant? Why is she giving me attitude? Why? Can't she just appreciate me? But here's the truth. Her tests aren't designed to frustrate you. They're designed to expose you. She's peeling back the image you project, trying to see if the man you say you are, the man you actually are when things get uncomfortable. She delays replying. She makes sarcastic jab. She flirts with pushing your limits. Not because she's cruel, but because she's looking for your reaction. Do you lose control? Do you beg for reassurance? Do you spiral or fold? That tells her everything, because now you're not in control. She is, but the man who passes. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't argue. He doesn't chase validation. He remains rooted. He sees the test for what it is, a mirror to show his emotional discipline. And that's when she feels something real. Respect. A quiet knowing that she can't shake you. That you don't need to prove anything. That you are, with or without her approval, exactly who you say you are. And that is the man she trusts. Not because he declares his strength, but because he displays it without ever raising his voice. 3. She never admit this, but she wants a man who can say no. You've heard it 1,000 times. Give her the world. Do everything she asks. Be the guy who never argues. And yet, those are never the men she stays obsessed with. Why? Because while she may ask for constant agreement, She secretly craves a man who can look her in the eyes and say no. Not to be controlling, not to be aggressive, but to show that he has a spine, that he has boundaries, that he lives by a code she can't bend. When you say no to her mood swings, no to her disrespect, no to plans that don't align with your path, you're sending a silent message. I don't orbit around your feelings. I lead myself, and if you're part of this journey, it's because you fit into the direction I'm already heading. That's attractive. That's masculine energy, because women don't test your boundaries to break them. They test them to find them, to see if you'll fold when pressure comes, to see if the ground beneath you is firm or fragile. And the men who can't say no, they get tolerated, then resented, because if you can't stand up to her, how will you ever stand up for her? But the man who calmly says no, who doesn't flinch, doesn't rage, doesn't over-explain, he becomes unforgettable, because now she sees something she rarely sees. A man who cannot be moved by guilt or swayed by seduction, and though she won't admit it, that's the man she respects and desires. For her, attraction is emotional before it's physical. The biggest lie men are sold, that women only want men with status, looks, and money. Sure, those things get attention, but they don't make her obsessed. What does? The emotional experience you give her, the way you make her feel. Too many men try to impress instead of connect. They flex, they boast, they perform, but women don't chase the man who impresses them. They chase the one who moves them. Attraction is emotional first. If she feels safe around you, yet excited. If you make her laugh 1 second and blush the next. If you stay composed when she's chaotic, that's what sticks. That's what keeps her up at night, replaying your voice in her head, not your achievements, not your Instagram, but the feeling you leave behind. Don't think about the men she couldn't let go of. They weren't always rich or ripped, but they stirred emotions she couldn't shake. Excitement, uncertainty, desire, chaos. Why? Because emotional attraction bypasses logic. It doesn't care what's smart, it cares what's felt. So she ignored the perfect guy and stay hooked on the one who made her feel alive. If you want to win her mind, stop performing, start leading emotionally. Create moments, not just impressions. Be present, not just impressive, because once you live in her emotions, you live in her memory. 5. The chase doesn't stop after she chooses you. Most guys think the game ends once she says yes, she agreed to be yours, so now the work is over. Right, wrong. That's when most men start losing her, because what drew her in at the start, the unpredictability, the flirtation, the mystery fades. The moment you hand yourself over completely, she doesn't lose interest because she's ungrateful. She loses interest because the spark disappeared, the tension died, the chase ended. But the man who keeps her chasing, he never stops being the man she had to earn. He doesn't smother, he doesn't disappear, he balances presence with purpose. He's still playful, still teasing, still challenging. He surprises her, not with gifts, but with his depth, his unpredictability, his fire. She doesn't want to feel like she owns you. She wants to feel like she's still winning you, like she's with a man who could walk away at any moment, but chooses not to. That's what keeps her heart beating faster. When you pair loyalty with challenge, commitment with mystery, security with uncertainty, you become a storm she can't predict, and a home she never wants to leave. Now you understand why they didn't want this message to get out. This isn't mainstream. This isn't sugar-coated. This is the raw, honest truth about what ignites real attraction. She craves space more than presence. Her tests reveal your core. She desires a man with unwavering boundaries. Her heart is emotional before it's logical. And the chase, it never truly ends. If this woke something up inside you, drop a comment below. I see it now. And if you want more truths like this, that most people won't say out loud, stick around.